Hello, welcome to each and every one of you. These are short 5-minute talks about spiritual practice and how to deepen our practice so that we're successful. Today's quote is a quote from our Lord Buddha. It reads, "What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create." Well, a short definition is you create your own universe, you create your own world, you create your own mental climate, your emotional climate, and your physical environment based on things that go on in consciousness. And if we don't have a practice that allows us to investigate what is going on and whether it's wholesome and healthy and life-affirming, spiritual life-affirming, then we need to adjust. We need to make some adjustments. The way we can examine the mind is called mindfulness. It's called vipassana, insight meditation. And one form that insight meditation takes is the mindfulness practice. So let's go back to the quote, "What you think, you become." Now, there's another quote I like that says, "We get the love we think we deserve." So many of us are unhappy in our love life, and we tend to blame our partner. We never think to examine our own mind and to see if there's something going on there that is limiting us from receiving the full blessing of loving kindness and goodwill, generosity, forgiveness, patience, the forms that real love takes. So we have to be careful about what we think. Social scientists have worked and said that we have about 10,000 or more thoughts every day. Now, how many times do you catch one of those thoughts? How many times do we? Well, very, very few. And we don't recognize those thoughts are the seeds. Those are the karmic seeds for tomorrow, next week, our next life. Every thought is a seed. We better be careful what we're planting. Second one is what you feel, you attract. Every thought has an emotional component. They're not just intellectual. Every thought has an emotional component. We can say, look at that person's haircut. Now, if we don't like it, that's an emotion. If we like it, that's an emotion. There's a third choice, which is neutral. We're just noticing someone has a particular kind of haircut. But we have a like and a dislike or a neutral reaction to every thought that arises to the level of consciousness. We need to be very careful what those thoughts are, because those emotional seeds are being planted thought by thought. It says what we feel, we attract. So when we're nervous and afraid and scared and anxious, you know what? Bad things happen. And we can't, then we say, see, I knew it. No, what we need to see is the energy around anxiety, fear, doubt, much less hatred and jealousy and envy and all kinds of other feelings, creates an environment where those bad experiences are more likely to happen. So the last one was, what you imagine, you create. In other words, everything in our life begins with a thought. Now, we call these thoughts proliferations. We call them sankharas. And we start thinking, and we think more and more and more and more. All the thoughts have an emotional component, and the next thing we know, we've created a mental, emotional, and physical environment. And we're the only ones who can change it. And we don't know how to change it. We don't have the power or maybe even the commitment to change it if we haven't been practicing calming the mind with meditation, strengthening our concentration so that we can watch the mind carefully all day, every day. That's our goal in mindfulness practice. You can do this. You're bound to be successful the more awake you become to the content of your own mind. Thank you for listening.